What's happening, you guys? Deeksy here, and the Montreal Canadiens, just a week after shocking the hockey world again, have signed David Reinbacher to a 3-year entry-level contract. A lot of overreactions came in when they actually selected Reinbacher because so many of us thought that they were going to take a forward this whole time, yada yada. You know the story. I wasn't one of them. That's not true, you know I was. Point being though, the Canadiens at the end of development camp here have decided to offer a 3-year entry-level contract to their 5th overall selection in this year's draft, David Reinbacher. Last year it was 5 days after the draft that they offered a 3-year entry-level deal to 1st overall selection Juraj Slafkovsky. So the Canadiens kind of following suit in pretty well immediately signing their 1st round selection immediately after the development camp this year. There are a few options for David Reinbacher this year in terms of where he's going to play. I mean, he will be at main training camp now for the Canadiens this fall in September, but it's not expected that he's going to make the team. He does have another year left of school. He's got work to do. Like, he's literally got a job back home where he plays. And he's also, the other option is to send him back to Sweden where he was playing with men, or does he make the Laval Rocket and actually start his career right away turning pro? It sounds like the Canadiens, at least to me anyway, even depending on how his training camp goes, unless it's really outstanding, which I don't really expect that to be the case, I think he should be taking another year of player development, going back to his routine and just kind of working on those skills and staying in touch closely with the Canadiens and the skills coaches and just kind of following the map for success to get him here, I would say no later than next year. You guys obviously noticed a different format today. Don't have the microphone in front of me, so it's just the camera mic today, obviously, because don't have my computer today. It's actually out on loan to my wife. We do share it. So anyway, just want to let you guys know about the format, why it's a little bit different today. Now, in terms of Montreal Canadiens player development camp this week, there were some standouts, and I think we all know that Hutson, again, was among the top of those standouts. Not surprising at all. Lane Hutson, left shot defenseman, 5'9", currently listed right now, and I coined the nickname for him the ankle breaker because if you see the way this guy pivots on his skates, it's absolutely amazing what he can do, and it's just clear that he's going to be the PP1. He's going to be the power play quarterback of the future for the Montreal Canadiens. We all can't wait for that day to come, but I do believe that he is going to be here next year also, right around the time that David Reinbacher actually comes in to turn pro, whether it's with Laval or with the Canadiens. But I think Lane Hutson will be next in terms of one of the obvious choices to sign a player from this development camp to an entry-level deal between now and next year. I said it in a video earlier this year that Lane Hutson is most likely going to sign his entry-level deal after another year of playing at Boston University. So we'll see how that goes, and there's still some progress to be made for Lane Hutson in terms of his overall game. But what we saw from him was just, again, quick feet. He's really, really amazing on his skates, like I mentioned, and always trying to draw defenders to him, just constantly creating options to pass the puck away from him. It's almost like he's becoming this big distraction with the puck because all eyes are on Hutson when he has it. But I think one of his main gifts is that he's able to distribute the puck beautifully and draw defenders to him in the process in order to create space and opportunities in the offensive zone for his teammates. Another defenseman who definitely stood out for me in the development camp scrimmage was Adam Engstrom. And this was the first time that I actually got to see him play, because I know a lot of fans, a lot of viewers on this channel have been reminding me or letting me know that you're looking forward to seeing him play, possibly being potentially part of the future of the Montreal Canadiens, because, I mean, what you saw from him was some craftiness. He was definitely creative and unafraid to jump up in the rush offensively, which is definitely the kind of game that the Canadiens are trying to play, whether it's on defense or the forward group. But he definitely stood out. He definitely impressed me. I noticed him a lot, and also noticed Logan Mailloux, of course. Definitely got that big body, and it's hard to miss the guy. But, I mean, he seemed like he was holding back a little bit, Mailloux was, because he did lay some hits. There was some body thrown, but I felt like he was still kind of holding back until main training camp. I still felt like he was playing with boys, if you will, whereas he's ready to take that next jump and play with men. I also noticed Jaden Struble a little bit. I thought Struble was actually a little bit bigger when I first initially saw him, but he looked okay out there. Wasn't afraid to throw his weight around as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing Logan Mailloux Jaden Struble, possibly Engstrom on the Laval Rocket. It's going to be a really exciting year for the Laval Rocket, as some of you have kind of gathered that a lot of these players are going to be making that roster, and it looks like Philip Machar is going to be one of them as well. Seeing him in the scrimmage, he definitely stood out. That guy has great edge work on his skates. The way he's able to turn on a dime, you just kind of always know it's him whenever he has the puck. And he scored a goal in the scrimmage for Team White. I think it was their only goal scored in both games that they played. They played 2 games total. But Machar definitely stood out, and I definitely liked what I saw from him as well. I also liked newcomer, new draft pick as of last week, Jacob Fowler. He actually looked pretty good in the scrimmage, I thought, too. He was steady in there. He basically played the exact way he described in his interview at the draft, and that was he doesn't overreact. He just tries to stop the puck, tries to get in position to do so, and that's what he did. So it was really cool to see. And Jacob Dobesh was in net as well. He had a couple goals scored on him, but again, a big goalie at 6'3". He looked okay at some points as well. So, but I did like Fowler's game a little bit better. I know it's just a scrimmage, but immediately Fowler just stood out as just being really ready and steady and in correct position in order to make the saves that he was making. Some other players that stood out, Simonu seemed to have, I'm trying to say his name, Simonu, I don't know, it's not Simonu, it's definitely Simonu, it's a French name, but he stood out. He had the puck quite a bit. He's got some fast skates, I can tell you right now. He's got some really good crossovers. And another one that I definitely noticed was Tuck. He scored a really nice goal too, but also just really good in and out of the zone. He was just making some decent plays and making himself seen on the ice. Joshua Waugh was another one, and he certainly stood out a little bit too. It's hard to not think that he was holding back a bit too for some reason. I don't know why, but it just seemed like these guys are ready to take that next step. And this scrimmage isn't necessarily the best litmus test for where these guys are going to be or what they're going to turn out to be with the Montreal Canadiens. But there were some players that stood out, and I'm probably missing a few here. But Lane Hutson, man, this guy's going to be dangerous. That's the word that keeps coming from everybody, is that he is going to be dangerous when he gets to the NHL. And in fact, his D partner, David Reinbacher, has already compared him and said that Lane Hutson is the next Cale Makar. Huge comparison, huge ceiling to reach, I know, but just the way that Hutson plays, every time he has the puck, you just have to respect him when he has it, because you have no idea what he's going to do with it. All the decoy, the little head fakes, the body fakes, the footwork. I mean, the guy is going to be a stud, and to get him at 62nd overall in the 2022 NHL entry draft, all the teams that passed on him because of his size, he is still growing. So again, I mean, I can't wait for him to get here. It's going to be just over a year, and then I think it's full on turning pro for Lane Hutson. David Reinbacher is officially signed as a member of the Montreal Canadiens, and they even say he's possibly got more height. He's got more height to add to his stature. He could end up, right around that Shea Weber mark of 6'3", 6'4" by the time he's done growing. So definitely feeling at home now. Reinbacher is Reinbacher. I keep wanting to say Backer. That's the proper way to say it. Think linebacker, right? So it's cool to see that he's signed, and he's going to continue along his process here. Develop, and then get ready to turn pro next year. I wouldn't be surprised if they try him with the Canadiens at a training camp in 2024. Not this season, but next season. What I mean is he might actually make the team right out of camp, because by that point, I mean, the defense, Chris Weidman, guys like Jonathan Kovacevic, I don't think they're going to be here necessarily next year. So it's a really big opportunity for him to take Reinbacher to take one of their spots next year, whether it's the seventh defenseman right out of training camp or right onto the top 6. So I can't wait to see what happens with this kid. And you know what? I think it's really grown on most of us now, seeing him, and just he was steady out there in development camp. No major flaws that I could see, but I can't wait to see more of him, and I can't wait to see him grow as a player and become a stalwart back there, a steady defenseman, a guy who can bring more offense than we initially thought in the scouting report. If we would have done our research, we would know that he's got a great shot and great offensive potential. He can be a power play quarterback, which we learned. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned, guys. Next week, Dale Weiss coming on the Deeks channel for the first time. Can't wait to catch up with Dale and to bring that to all of you. So we'll see you guys then. Hit like, hit subscribe. Thank you so much for the support. Pushing 5K, and you guys are making it happen. You're the best. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you soon.